3077. A person may not act as a crew member of a civil aircraft if alcoholic beverages have been consumed by that person within the preceding A. 8 hours, B. 12 hours, C. 24 hours. The correct answer is A. According to the regulations, specifically 14 CFR 91.17, no person may act or attempt to act as a crew member of a civil aircraft within 8 hours after consuming any alcoholic beverage. This rule is commonly referred to as 8 hours bottle to throttle. It is a safety measure designed to ensure that crew members are not under the influence of alcohol while performing their duties. Adhering to the 8 hours bottle to throttle rule helps maintain a safe operating environment and prevents impairment that could compromise the crew member's ability to perform their responsibilities effectively. It is essential for maintaining aviation safety and is a requirement that all crew members must follow. 3078. Under what condition, if any, may a pilot allow a person who is obviously under the influence of drugs to be carried aboard an aircraft? A. In an emergency, or if the person is a medical patient under proper care. B. Only if the person does not have access to the cockpit or pilot's compartment. C. Under no condition. The correct answer is A. According to regulations, specifically 14 CFR 91.17, a pilot may allow a person who is obviously under the influence of drugs to be carried aboard an aircraft under two specific conditions: in an emergency, or if the person is a medical patient under proper care. In an emergency situation, the pilot may make exceptions to certain regulations in order to address the immediate needs of the situation. This includes allowing an individual who is under the influence of drugs to be carried aboard the aircraft if it is necessary for their safety or well-being. Similarly, if the person under the influence of drugs is a medical patient under proper care, the pilot may allow them to be carried aboard the aircraft. This typically applies to situations where a qualified medical professional is accompanying the patient and their transportation by air is deemed necessary for medical reasons. Under normal circumstances, however, it is not permissible to allow a person who is obviously under the influence of drugs to be carried aboard an aircraft. This is to ensure the safety of all occupants and to prevent any impairment that could affect the operation of the aircraft. 3079. No person may attempt to act as a crew member of a civil aircraft with A. 0.008% by weight or more alcohol in the blood. B. 0.004% by weight or more alcohol in the blood. C. 0.04% by weight or more alcohol in the blood. The correct answer is C. According to regulations, specifically 14 CFR 91.17, no person may attempt to act as a crew member of a civil aircraft if they have a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, of 0.04% by weight or more. This applies to pilots, flight attendants, and any other crew members involved in the operation of the aircraft. The limit of 0.04% is lower than the legal limit for operating a motor vehicle, which is typically 0.08% in most jurisdictions. This stricter limit for aviation reflects the higher level of responsibility and safety required in flight operations. It is important for crew members to comply with this regulation to ensure the safety of the flight and all persons on board. Consuming alcohol in amounts that would result in a BAC of 0.04% or higher can impair judgment, coordination, and cognitive abilities, which can have serious consequences in the aviation environment. 2087, which is true regarding the presence of alcohol within the human body. A. A small amount of alcohol increases vision acuity. B. An increase in altitude decreases the adverse effect of alcohol. C. Judgment and decision-making abilities can be adversely affected by even small amounts of alcohol. The correct answer is C. Alcohol is a psychoactive substance that affects the central nervous system, including the brain. Even small amounts of alcohol can have an impact on cognitive functions, including judgment and decision-making abilities. Alcohol impairs coordination, reaction time, attention, and perception, which are all crucial for safe and effective performance in various activities, including aviation. It is important to note that alcohol does not improve vision acuity, option A, and its effects are not mitigated by an increase in altitude, option B. In fact, alcohol can exacerbate the effects of altitude on the body, such as dehydration and hypoxia, which can further impair pilot performance and safety. In aviation, it is critical for pilots and crew members to abstain from consuming alcohol prior to and during flight operations to ensure optimal safety and decision-making abilities. Q3079-1. How soon after the conviction for driving while intoxicated by alcohol or drugs shall it be reported to the FAA Civil Aviation Security Division? A. No later than 60 days after the motor vehicle action. B. No later than 30 working days after the motor vehicle action. C. Required to be reported upon renewal of medical certificate. The correct answer is A. If a pilot is convicted of driving while intoxicated by alcohol or drugs, they are required to report the conviction to the FAA Civil Aviation Security Division within 60 days. This reporting requirement is necessary for maintaining compliance with aviation regulations and ensuring the safety of the aviation system. It's important for pilots to be aware of their obligations regarding reporting convictions related to alcohol or drug offenses, as failure to report within the specified time frame can have regulatory and legal consequences. By promptly reporting such convictions, pilots can fulfill their responsibilities and maintain compliance with aviation regulations.